Let's see if Fruit Loop is down there. Where is he? Nope. He's not down there. That's okay. I was just kind of testing it out anyway. Just in case I got lucky. God knows where he is, but that's okay. There have been some sightings. I keep forgetting to like tip my camera like this, but that's okay. I figured now that I started, I'll just keep going. Yeah, there's been some sightings. Last night when I went to answer the call of nature, I just happened to first of all, earlier last night, I'm in the living room, and I'm just spending way too much time in the Matrix, this thing, like I always do, and I don't know, I happened to like look left because, you know, I'm kind of used to looking in any direction I want to in my own house, and all of a sudden there's this explosion of frantic activity right near the top landing of the stairs, like, you know, right when you come up to the living room. And it was like a scramble of activity. Like, you know, it's like one of those Scooby-Doo cartoons that you see where the character is like running in place so much to gain traction that he can't get anywhere. So it's like, Willie was down the stairs. So that was, so after that, I was trying to stay upstairs, just kind of like, I'm going to be really quiet and still, and maybe he'll come upstairs. And so I'm almost afraid to make any sudden moves. But then I gave up and went to bed because I just found that rather silly after a while. Then during the night, I was answering the call of nature, and I just happened to look up towards that second lower landing, and where I'm going to show you, I'll just show you right, it's easier to show you than to describe it, excuse me. This is the track of the Acorn stair lift, right in that little space between the landing and the track. I saw a cat-shaped silhouette, and Willie's like looking at me. So of course, I look back and he's frozen in place. So I just kind of turned my head a little bit to the left, and he just kind of oozed down the stairs, like liquid metal, the T-1000 liquid metal thing, and then he just congealed into the zero room, which is here. By the way, I've taken the litter box out of here and brought it downstairs, just so, you know, my little library retreat doesn't smell like a animal shelter anymore. I'm going to move it even further downstairs. This is a townhouse, so there's 3 levels to it. So what I'm going to do is, like, when I get it down there in a couple of days, I'll do a complete change out of, you know, the kitty litter box. It's a Buddha box, so he has kind of like an enclosed little... Thing is, when I was coming downstairs to, you know, do an errand, and because of the hernia, I sometimes have to use that Acorn stair lift myself, so I brought it down when I'm not feeling particularly energetic. So I went on down, and all of a sudden, I'll show you again, just because it's easier just to show you. Open the light. And right down there, I heard scratching. And of course, I could have been a jerk, and I could have just, I know where I can find him. I'm going to reach on in and grab him. I wasn't going to do that. You don't disturb someone during their moment of nature. It's just rude. So, anyway, enough about the cat. Happy Easter to all of you folks in the YTPC. Eventually, I'll maybe like do a pipe in the very, very near future. It's just, oh my God, it's the 1st, April 1st. That means I have to, in 2 days, I'm doing my, what do you call it? My stethoscopic heart operation stent operation thing. So maybe that might not be a wise idea. I know you're not actually inhaling or anything, but it's just sort of like, did I just hear a bell? Is Willie coming up? I'm not even going to dare to hope. Yeah, so that might not be a good idea, but I feel it coming in the future. I'd like to just, because I find myself making more videos, but I'm not worrying about smoking a pipe or lighting up, but I'd like to get back to that. But anyway, happy Easter to all of you. Some quick shout outs to pipes and kayaks. It's kind of not weird, but it's just kind of interesting to have someone so close in the YTPC. I live up in New Hampshire, and Brad lives down in Massachusetts, somewhere like central Massachusetts, I think, somewhere. And got the accent and everything like that. It's like this is weird. I mean, you're used to watching people on YouTube that are like billions of miles away, but he's basically like what, 30, 40 miles at best. Yeah, I make the trip into Boston all the time, back and forth when I go to work. So it's not like it's that far. Who else? Oh yeah, I'd like to say hello to the Mindful Pipe, Johan. I'm trying to catch up with a couple of his videos. Just saw his St. Patrick's Day video, and his latest one's all about lunting around his farm property. So I'll check that out later on. Who else? Anyone else? Of course, Cobbett of the Shire. He's always very entertaining to listen to. Had one he did a video with his wife for the first time. That I think it's the first time, but it was nice to see. Kind of like looking in on a comfy parlor, chatting with a decent chap. Anyone else I could think of? Of course, I had this entire list in my head before I started this video, but of course I can't remember it now. Yeah, I can't think of anybody else at this point in time. I especially wish Holy Smoking Pipe Padre a decent Easter. I sent him a card. I hope it gets through on time. Fairly lighthearted, but not irreverent to the holiday. One day I'd like to do a video about letter writing and my obsessive compulsion with it, and how much I to be honest, I love letter writing more than I do any particular thing, maybe even reading. But there's only so much you can write about your life to different people. But I have a pipe smoker friend I write to. His name's Charlie, out in Kentucky, and that's pretty much all he does. Is he writes letters, and with a fountain pen on a letter box with paper, and he just scrawls letter after letter, and it's beautifully. I think I've got every single one he's ever sent me. There it is, and some other letters in there. I decide to keep because I don't know. I think letters are special in this day and age. Oh yes, Grandpa Cavendish. He did a couple of videos recently. Taking care of Rhesus, his daughter's dog, I believe it is. Yeah, so that was nice to see. Always cozy. You always he's one of those pipers that you get a cozy feeling looking in on. Same with Cobbett of the Shire, and same with Mindful Pipe. Really, most people, but like I said, some people just sort of it's like looking into a comfortable, warm parlor type feeling. Come sit by my hearth type warm and comfy, if that makes any sense. Right now the bills are paid. I obviously have to take some time off from work, so I'm just kind of like, money is not a big thing with me unless you don't have any. So luckily I'm getting all the bills paid off because I didn't work enough hours last year. Apparently I have to pay some insurance makeup for last year, and that gives you a keen sense of how expensive insurance is here in the States. Anyway, so that's taking a gouge out of the paycheck, but still making ends meet. Went on some retail therapy. Americans are notorious for retail therapy. Call it affluenza, if you will. We like to acquire stuff. I know we didn't invent greed or acquisition or anything like that, but American culture seems to exemplify it in terms of all the ad money being aimed at us to buy stuff. And obviously, we all have our weaknesses. I've got my books, I've got my comics, obviously there. I'll just for giggles, I'll show you my pipe collection, meager as it is, but got this stuff here. I think I might have shown you this before. That's from a good friend of mine, that one, Norm Brown. I think it's a Peterson, but I haven't had the heart to smoke it yet, and all the tobaccos are down here. Ugh. Have not properly stored yet. So, I mean, favorite pipes are probably this one. Found this in an antique store. And actually, you'd be surprised, this. 3 favorite pipes are this, this, and that, generally speaking. As you know, that's the YTPC segment of our video. It's, you know, it's also just too easy to shop too, because I'm a big book freak, and of course I have a ton of free books being sent to my my inbox. So of course you kind of get sucked into that, and you start buying Kindle books for like $1.99. And the thing is, I haven't really read on a Kindle yet. I haven't got myself into the habit. I'm just like hoarding books for I get stuck on a plane and I don't. And I get stuck on a plane without any reading room. I still like the feel of physical book, but just in case I get caught, I've got a lot of reading there I can do. But when you go onto Amazon and, like, you know, for example, I'll be reading, say, I don't know, I'm just pulling this off the found that at Savers for $2. But let's say you're reading a graphic novel that you get for sale. That's what I tend to pick out. I tend to pick out, you know, stuff that's on sale, whether or not, you know, if I have a mild interest in it and the price is right, I'll pick it up. So right now I'm reading this thing with DC Comics. It's Brightest Day. It's a Green Lantern thing. And of course, it comes in 3 volumes. Now, make no mistake. Comics are made for you to buy them. It's like an ongoing soap opera thing. So Brightest Day Omnibus, all the comics are collected into 3 different volumes. So I read the first volume. So what did I do? I boogied on onto Amazon and looked for some used copies, and they're winging its way toward me. And also, there's something called why can't I remember the name of it? It's like Shock Video. And of course, they had to wave the sale in my face where they've got this Blu-ray sale where, you know, I tend to, you know, movies that I tend to watch over and over again, I'll invest in. So they had this ridiculous sale for, you know, a lot of John Carpenter movies are being released in this, how do I put it? This tin box commemorative edition. So, and one of my favorite movies that doesn't get a lot of airplay by Joe Dante called Matinee. If you're a big fan, if you like sort of like, if you like it, if you like that, and if you're into like reminiscences of a baby boomer childhood in general, check out Matinee by Joe Dante's the director. John Goodman's in it. He's the big name star. You hear a lot of him because of the Roseanne reboot. But just a good solid movie, and it's a kid basically dealing with the stress of the Cuban Missile Crisis. He's an army brat in Florida, and of course, right across the way is Havana, Cuba, with Russian missiles like zipping on over there. And of course, so nuclear war is very real. So, of course, he's into like monster mags, like famous monsters of Filmland and everything like that. And John Goodman plays this sort of like ne'er-do-well movie promoter who wants to air half man, half ant at his latest movie theater, and it's pretty cool. Joe Dante, that's the stuff that he lives for. You know, he's done Gremlins, that kind of thing. He really, you know, Gremlins 2. He really seems to like. Actually, I think he might have directed Captain America: The First Avenger. I could be wrong about that. So I've got that coming in Blu-ray, and what else? 1, 2, 3. You think that would be it? That would be enough. But the point being here with all of them, it's money I really didn't need to be spending, because, you know, hospital bills will be wheeling their way in, and but it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, the sugar rush of the sale. Oh yeah, okay. John Carpenter, Prince of Darkness, They Live, The Fog, 3 of my favorite John Carpenter movies. No, They Live, I need to get to know the movie better, but it's pure John Carpenter. Matinee, that's the only one I can think of right now. I almost picked up The Burbs, but again, it's like, why don't we relegate it to movies you really like, Gary, instead of like looking to build your collection? Because, you know, money doesn't grow on trees. Get off my lawn. all that kind of thing. Anyway, it's going on 15 minutes, so I wish all of you folks a happy Easter, and I'm off to take a shower, so I can go to my my husband's family gathering today. They're folding in a birthday and Easter, and I'm just gonna kind of chill and sit back and enjoy the family vibe, and that will be it. Take care of yourself, folks. It's always a pleasure talking to you. It's always a pleasure chatting with you online with your own videos as well. Have a good one. Speak to you soon. Bye.